There's a moon out tonight. Whoa, let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart. Whoa, whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight.
Goes right here, man. Grandpa Coyote, right up here at the headwaters of love, Spring Creek in the Rocky Mountain High of Colorado, man. You betcha. Spring Creek, the place where the original waters flow. That one little drop of water that begins it all just comes wiggling its way right out of the earth, man, in a moment of birth, B-E-R-T-H, when we finally find our way and into creation. We do flow, we do play with Spring Creek day after day until it becomes the very river of life and the ocean of love and all the land that surrounds it and the beachy places where we play and integrate the water into the organic side of things, wouldn't you say? Get that feeling going, you know. The feeling of love flowing, the feeling of life glowing. Oh, I think we need a toke today. I hear the call of Sweet Mary J. saying, Pope Coyote, Pope Mary J., would you please help these folks have a little toke today? And I say, okay, Mary, I will, baby. In fact, it's a green hit time right now. I got a fresh J right here we just rolled up a few minutes ago. Help us all stay in the flow. Get some clarity, don't you know? Now, I'm not telling you to stay stoned all the time, man, or be too high, because that doesn't do much more than just give your ass a little fry, right? But here, after you're done with the fry pan, get down here in the fire and stay warm with the rest of us, okay? Get the fire to clarity going on, man. Ooh, and take this long, cold drink of water with this Mary J. She'll help you end the fuss, Gus, and get on with life, man, because you finally see the way. See, she's here to help you expand and grow. Don't you know? She's a revolution in and of herself. She's what makes us flow, what makes us understand there is the flow, what helps us see and feel our way into it. Yeah, she's the gateway to paradise, man. And that's why we will always treat her very, very nice and with great respect. Babies, you know, it's in your heart to be free, and Mary Jane is just here to help you see what free can be. 'Cause you ain't never been free before, though you so thought you was. 'Cause when you're free, you're living in creation. And creation's behaving exactly the way you want it to in every moment that you live, because you're creating it, man, along with the rest of the tribe, which is your vibe, man. When you're in the creative vibe, you're in the creative heart of love, which lives in everyone. And you can't misstep or mistake it. You know, the human thing where we're all so damn dumb and, you know, beat each other up and put each other down, etc. Finally out the window. Finally, we can go with the flow of equity, don't you know, which is the symphony of life, showing you your place in the harmony of love, the grand symphony of life, man, the rock and roll opera that we've been living in here in the 3D, man, which gets a lot more bigger and broader when you start to expand into it multidimensionally now, don't it? So you follow that feeling, you follow that flow, then your eyes will begin to glow. And the veils, which have so restricted you, don't you know, melt away. And you know, it doesn't matter what the weather is today. You're always in the sunshine. You're always right where you need to be. You're always living in a temperate place. No matter if the blizzard's going on around you or not, or you're living on the beach in the sun. It's all the same. The sun's in you, don't you see? The weather, therefore, can't affect you. Because the weather isn't like it used to be. You've changed it all, don't you see? There's nothing controllable here. It's all in the flow, don't you know? Doesn't need to be controlled. It is in the flow of the heart, the equity of the divine symphony of love, playing across that heart, playing through that heart. See, there's that golden shaft of love. Yeah, I see it. There it comes, right down through your old crown, right down to, you know, and puts you right grounded to the ground, right? But at the same time, it does expound through your heart into all of this creation, all around. Yeah, baby, every bit of it, 360 degrees of it. You're kind of like the center of a big old donut, man, you know. And the donut is the creation around you, man, and the creation inside of you, too. See, that's what you don't see in the donut hole. That's where the donut's made, man. It's all the love that creates the donut that we live in, the donut of creation, which is an ever-rising, ever-increasing, huge little thing that just, never wants to let go of the experience of it, because it's getting on with what? The big O. Now, you figure that out. Follow the feeling. Follow the flow. Let your eyes show you what's going on here, don't you know? See, it starts in the center of your bones, the center of your life, the center of your heart, the center of your conscious presence, which is the center of your present being inside of this well-centered human being, rooted down here in the Mother Earth reality of 3D, only going far further than that, don't you see? 3D is a mere shadow of the reality of expression. And in reality, there is no day or night. Everybody and everything is bright, bright, bright. The sun lives inside, see? And we shine internally to the external and create creation. Through the light of the sun, shining through our organic heart, comes the reality of creation, as our eyes and our feelings interpret that creation into being. Ain't that amazing? And we put ourselves through all kind of hellacious and paradisical experiences for the purpose of the experience of it. To know how it feels, to get our feelings rooted down. Sometimes kind of harshly in this reality. But to get ourselves rooted down so we can be found. And not have to be such a mother-trucking little clown, But be real inside ourselves with what we feel, with what we are then, because we feel ourselves being what we are. And what is that? Well, it's kind of like an egg-like thing at the center of creation. Only we're not an egg, and we're not exactly hatching out. It's just got that kind of elliptical form to it. That's our generalized form, that center of the donut thing, the grand light of love everything's made of, That's us, each one of us, as a person and as a personal being in each other person and all the persons that are here in every person that is. All of creation, from the tiniest grain of sand and snowflake and stuff to the grandest display of life there can ever be, which is, more or less the human form, don't you see? But not exactly as is portrayed now. See, this is the dumbed-down version of it. This is the restricted side. But we had to go there in order to appreciate the unrestricted. I mean, darlings, you can't appreciate what you are when you haven't been away from it, you see? That's the lesson of it all, is step away in order to appreciate what you are today. Go realize disempowerment, and then you can appreciate empowerment. Step away from life, have some death, and you find out what life is. And you find out what love is, because it's life too. And it brings it all back together. The wellspring of life is born of gratitude. Without the scarfing up, you could never be around. Without being out of it, you could never be in it. You can't appreciate it. You can't give yourself a life until you've been away from it. Until you know what death is. And now you find life. Now you find growth. And babies, it's eternal inside of you. And all the rest of us too. Coming back like a heart attack, Jack. Conscious presence. Let yourself flow then with the multidimensional. With each tune that we play here. Wouldn't you say? And you start to realize the feeling of it. Then your eyes follow the flow of that feeling, don't you know? And pretty soon you're living in the multidimensional aspects of Never Been to Spain. But the ladies are insane there. Hey, I've known some Spanish ladies. They are quite awesome. I'd call them anything but insane. Total love in motion, man. Totally gathered in their femininity and loving themselves for it, but not afraid of the direct and masculine side of it either. Bold in their femininity. Bold in their life. Well, I'm speaking, in a general term. The few Spanish women I've met, right? Well, I mean more than a few, but anyway, it demonstrates a reality, the return. And they're kind of, gate breakers themselves, gate openers, man. Those Spanish ladies that can live it that way. and help other people realize too, there's nothing wrong with being strong in your feminine, because that's where all the song of life begins, man, right there inside of her height. Takes us all for that ride. So therefore we are all an extension of the grandmother of love, who brought us forward into this life as the person we are right now, as the person we're about to become. As you get it on the run, babies. Salute to your grand heart, and clink, clink, clink all the way around with our official Coyote Club mugs, babies. The beautiful mugs of love, from which we get the grand drink of water of life from the headwaters of life, Spring Creek, baby, with Grandpa Coyote and all you angelic presences too. It is totally spectacular to be a human being. If you don't believe me, just ask any nearby E.T., man. They're so jealous. Getting it clear, dear, here on the Hazy Radio Network. Up the creek with Grandpa, Spring Creek, Colorado, babies. Oh, my goodness, does it get any higher than this? Oh, baby, you better believe it does. Stay tuned. Like the child that you are, baby, yes indeed. The child that runs wild out there in that wild world, but baby does so creatively that no one stands in the way, baby. You can be as crazy as you need to be, or as sane and as sober too, man. All I know is if you rock, you roll. If you got it, you're in the flow, and you understand, don't you know? And you don't need all that bullshit anymore. You don't need somebody telling you, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that, baby, you better do this, or else I'm going to do that, or else, you know, and all that nice and nasty stuff, man. You kind of rise above all the fluff, all the stuff that everybody else is kind of dragged down in, and as you rise up, you know, and no longer bend to the will of the wind that way, baby, everybody else comes out to play too, because you had the strength to stick to your heart. You know what was right. You know what it was telling you. You knew where it was taking you. You understood without questioning yet. There's always the question, because there's always the answer. The heart, no, it takes you in that flow. It's like this music, don't you know? When you begin to feel the multidimensional, that's real. And then you start to see the deeper meaning, the deeper message here, you see. And the higher ones too, man, because it's all the same, really. And what are they saying? Come back to your heart. Don't give up. You just got to start. Okay, you got it underway, etc., etc., etc. Some of them even have secret little keys in them that just open up new areas inside of your person. Because the time is just right, and you're listening in at just the right time, see? It's all cosmically syncopated and synchronized from up there in the big old eyes in the sky, which are the eyes in the heart, which is you and I seeing our way through creation, feeling our way into it so that our eyes can create, so that we can experience what we create as we create it. I know, we go round and round, you know, till it turns you upside down and right side up and inside out. But babies, you know, don't you pout. You're figuring it out. You're starting to catch on to how it works. And guess what? That is freedom. That is success. That makes no more hump day, baby. No more Friday, no more Monday, no more Tuesday. Just be. Just exist. Just know there is no night. There's only daylight. And it shines within you and within your life too. And within all that we are and all that we do. And everything else around us too, man. It's time to let the feeling help us open our eyes and see that the age of the blue star has already begun. Yeah, the sun don't shine in the sky no more. It shines inside of you and I. It shines inside of everything. Don't you see? That's why it can't be night. There's only daylight. There's only light, light, light. There's only the rooted down feeling in that light. The love of life that loves to create and experience. Ooh, from the rooted down reality of creation, man. I tell you, that's the headwaters of life. The spring creek of love, you know, from the beginning. Now, we go back to original moments in the same way, you know, and we let go of all the things that, you know, cause us not to want to come out and play. So we can get our heart out day after day. You know, we've certainly been through, 2016. It was kind of mean for a lot of us. But yet, baby, look, 17's making it up for us already. I mean, hasn't been much happening yet the energy building stronger and stronger, and they can't last much longer. None of them can hold out. This stuff I've been talking about for oh so long now, where everybody turns honest all of a sudden because, you see it's real. That's the deal. The oneness of love in everybody that's real. That's what you feel, man. Well, the inclinations of the heart are bringing everyone, the darkest of hearts, this way. No one and no thing can avoid it. Truth is here because our heart has required it, dear. We've gone through enough of the illusion now to appreciate that element. Now we can step back into our reality and be the divine angelic presences in human form that we are. And that's our case settled forevermore. Our heart in motion gets itself up off the floor and gets going again. Yeah, we've been knocked on our ass so many times. It's like, wow, we had no class. None. I mean, absolutely zero. We made war on one another. We made violence on children and the animals and the birds and the bees. We tried to kill everything or sat by silently while others did it. By rights, the captain should go down with the ship, right? Well, the ship ain't going down. That's the illusion coming around, see? The reality is in our heart. We cannot live that way. Only place we could do that is in a fictional reality, like a movie where we're an actor and we're just going through scenes and emotions and lines that we're, instructed to say, because it's in the script, wouldn't you say? But we're kind of writing the script as we go along because we're creative little shits, and we like to live in it. We like to see how far we can take it, how far we can go. Sometimes we get real extreme. Coyote medicine bites us on the ass again and again. But we keep coming back for more. No matter how many times we wipe out here, we always come back for more. Back to that small town, back to that big city, back to that place in the boondocks. Well, it'll never set you free, yet you're free when you be there, aren't you? Even though you slave your ass off to stay there. Oh, we're learning something more. There's a larger vision coming in that does indeed settle the score. See, we play all this romance inside of ourselves, but the romance is life itself. Not just one love, not just one person. I mean, you are the one person. We're all the one person. That's the romance with life. The one person being it all in everything that is and every being that is. And God bless us, we can celebrate that like nobody's biz. There is no one, nothing in this reality can create like the human being can create. The veritable children of creation. We got the gift. We got the flow. We got the willingness. And now we got the know-how and how. It just comes trickling through you. I'm not an instruction manual. I'm a suggester. I shine a light over here and say, hey, take a look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Isn't that the way, man? Maybe so. And then you take it from there, don't you know? Life is rock. Life is roll. See, I'm one of those, like, I'm a spirit coyote, I guess you'd call it. I drop into your life for a little while. I touch a few elements of it, and I'm gone. And you're there doing whatever it was you were doing beforehand, but now it's different. Now you change direction. Now it's up to you to follow the flow, don't you know? To catch on. See, because I got so many moles that got to go too, So I just keep on the roll, keep on the rock, keep in the flow, man. And you'll find yourself doing the same thing pretty soon. And this is like, wow, what a dream. You're like the river of life. And all these people coming and going are like, the essences of creation that we're nurturing and bringing back to life as we flow through the territory they live in, you see. Pretty amazing shit when you get right down to it, but real as all get out when you can allow yourself to live it, babies. When you get beyond the laugh. Because it is a joke, because we've taken ourselves so dang seriously here when there was no need for it whatsoever, yet I mean, even listen to me, I rattle on sometimes against, certain people and rail against the cabal and all this stuff. We can really get carried away, can't we? We're passionate people. We're passionate beings. But see, the passion is being retrained, not restrained, retrained. Trained in a new way, the way of creation. And that's the big O I'm talking about. You want to know some more, you better tune in tomorrow, man, because we'll get deeper into the story of the big O here at Spring Creek. High in the Colorado sky, man, you betcha. Well, you don't even know where Spring Creek is, do you? But it's the veritable headwaters of life. The universe knows where it is at all times. And she knows there's a gazillion replicas out there, too, man, a gazillion of them. But that's all right. If it carries that name or that energy, it can be Spring Creek, too. Because we all need a beginning, and maybe it's too far away from where we are, so we can just do it right here. And that makes it right here where we are. See, in other words, Spring Creek, the headwaters of life, exist inside of us, inside of our heart. We are the beginning, the end, the alpha, the omega, the rock, the roll, the love, the scrambled eggs, don't you know? Early in the day as we get it underway with Grandpa Coyote and friends. The headwaters of life, the Spring Creek of love, the mother of love, Mary Jane, helping us get it clear and get along the way, dear. She's the cacti growing beside that little wellspring of love at the headwaters of Spring Creek. Ooh, here in Colorado. Oh, babies. Well, it may be in Colorado. It may be where you are, Ray. Yeah, I think so. Right there inside of our life. In every way. But the reality is, you come take this journey with me. Early this May, babies. Well, mid-May, I guess we're going. Get your raffle tickets in on it. I'll have some booking arrangements. If you don't think you're going to win, you can do it that way. If you do win, we'll give you your money back, etc. We'll work it out. But come take this trip with me, babies. And let's see if we can bring ourselves back to life and fully present and really make a difference in this reality while having the time of our life. This is the way we are meant to be, to celebrate ourselves into being. And then celebrate some more because we are being finally what we truthfully are. We finally got back to what? The Garden of Eden, man. The Garden of Life. The Garden of Love. In other words, the truth, the primal essential truth of who and what we are. Creation in motion. Well trained now, babies, in the ways of emotion, in the ways of feeling, in the ways of emoting into creation. Eh? Had some little squirrels and spiders and donkeys and dogs and eagles and so forth help us along the way, eh? Oh, all kinds of strange combinations in this reality, but only one life we're living. And it's so beautiful, don't you know? To be that person, that Mary Jane of the merry flow that goes on forever, don't you know? Like the Spring Creek of love, man. It never sinks out of sight. It just keeps flowing and growing and flowing and growing until it is everything and everyone. The whole of creation. All coming undone. Out of its illusion, baby. And back to the clear waters of life. The headwaters of love. Because this old man could go through a little strife and help you get on with your life. I listened to a bunch of 2 miles today. How about that? Isn't that the way coyotes play? I thought that's what you'd say. So here's to you. Living through you because I'm thinking of you and I love you and you are I and I are you and we are Obi-Wan Kenobi too and all the rest of this reality, don't you see? That's why you can't help but love Oki and sometimes even little old me. Hey, we love you, baby, and it's good to have you cooking with us too here at Spring Creek, man, camped out here at the headwaters of love. Don't forget the CoyoteClub.com. Coyotes with a K and club is too. Help us keep it underway and do it ever more grandly so, by participating and sharing, don't you know? Because we love you, babies. That's all that matters, and we can keep that in the flow, can't we now? Here on the Hazy Radio Network, which is ever clear there inside of your heart, dear. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning about 8 a.m. here in the mountains, 10 a.m. there in the Eastern time zone, about 3 p.m. over there in jolly old England. Adjust your clocks accordingly wherever you may happen to be, babies, and be here with me. There's nothing like waking up with Grandpa Coyote early in the day, especially here on the banks of Spring Creek in Colorado, wouldn't you say?